And a couple of names that they can't confirm is on it, as I said earlier, Prince Andrew and Clinton, and President Clinton.
Wild Bill.
And they actually said Clinton was there quite a few times. So
to the surprise of no one. He had to get away from Hillary and get some good coochie somewhere.
That's a wild statement. I mean, but yeah,
have you Hillary Clinton? There's probably a reason for that.
Let's go to Epstein here. All right.
We may soon learn the identities of more people connected to Jeffrey Epstein. A federal judge has ordered the release of more than 150 names which were previously withheld. They include witnesses and victims in the civil case against Ghislaine Maxwell, who is currently serving 20 years in prison for being Epstein's accomplice in sex trafficking. The list also includes some of Epstein's former employees. Epstein, a wealthy and well-connected financier, was indicted in 2019 for a scheme of involving underage girls. He later took his own life in jail before he could be tried.
He didn't take his own damn life. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know. Right? Same thing with like Dahmer.
But why didn't they kill the bitch? That makes no sense to me.
She's still there.
Yeah,
she's still there.
If you really
they gave her 20 years.
But here's the thing: dead men tell no tales.
Yeah. And
so why not kill her too? If you are going to kill the guy, go all in. What's that? She hasn't spoken yet. Yeah, just kill her anyway.
Apparently,
you take risk off the table.
Well, apparently she's collaborated to help give the names for this list to create this list.
And it's dropping like a mixtape.
It's dropping like a mixtape.
It is.
That's a good one.
It's great anticipation.
So yeah, no, the list hasn't dropped yet. It's just saying that the documents have been unsealed. So it's just a matter of them releasing it out to the public. But it has been so they do have them. And a couple of names that they can't confirm is on it, as I said earlier, Prince Andrew and Clinton, and President Clinton.
Wild Bill.
And they actually said Clinton was there quite a few times. So
to the surprise of no one. He had to get away from Hillary and get some good coochie somewhere.
That's a wild statement. I mean, but yeah,
have you masturbated to Hillary Clinton? There's probably a reason for that.
A name that I can't pronounce. Is that the lady's last name? Joburg or whatever. But recalled in her 2016 deposition, yes, that's the lady that's in jail, in prison.
Ghislaine Maxwell is the one in prison.
Is that one? So who is this?
She was probably one of the victims.
Oh, okay. Yes, the victim.
She probably offered testimony.
Yes. Yeah. So that's what she said during the deposition. She says that Clinton likes them young, referring to girls, and that she understood
to girls to distinguish him from Catholic priests everywhere.
Epstein had numerous dealings with Clinton, and that a spokesman for Clinton confirmed in 2019 that the former president had flown on Epstein's private plane, and things like that. So I guess these are the first two names that come out because they could really tie these guys to being around Epstein.
There was a documentary a couple years ago, and those names were mentioned prominently in the documentary. So that you're not, and you know who's a funny one is, do you remember the attorney Alan Dershowitz?
Their name sounds.
I think he had a peripheral role in the OJ trial. He's really a highly decorated attorney. He was in that Epstein documentary. And it was very unflattering, and there was a lot of suggestion that he was somebody who sort of partook in this activity, which, again, he's a super creepy guy, so kind of not surprising. And it's kind of not – it's not surprising that he would be able to get any cooch without some sort of manipulation or heavy finance.
Yeah. And it's almost as going to be guilty by association in the public view.
Yeah,
but as like we said, when these names come out, and it's supposed to be close to 200 of them, it's like you said, it's going to be a lot of, these people are going to come out and immediately say, hey, this is not the case or whatever. Because like you said, he Epstein was a very influential guy who had a lot of money. So a lot of public figures and political guys, they would align themselves and go out to his property and things like that, probably to get additional funding to create these relationships. So it doesn't have to be the case where he was screwing all these young girls and they were doing it all together just as a fucking fun expedition.
Yeah, I mean,
it could have been his solo thing.
Realistically, you said when these names drop, the immediate gut reaction is going to be, holy crap, this person's, did these horrible things.
Yeah.
But you do have to probably give yourself a moment of reflection and realize that this guy was not necessarily doing these activities 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. He was this guy who amassed a great fortune and who was a business guy and was a kind of a mover and shaker, a guy that was playing politics as well. And so, not every interaction that he had was going to be with the underage girls. And so some people will be caught in some sort of association with him, and it may honestly, genuinely not mean anything improper, but there's others that it probably does suggest something improper. But I was saying, so he had this island, and a lot of his activities went there, and a lot of the talk is, did these people take the airplane and go to the island and visit the island? Now, again, it's entirely conceivable that the island was not a 365-day-a-year underage sex parlor. He could have hosted legitimate fundraisers or parties or whatever there, and then the next weekend it could have been back to the little girls. I don't know, but the name, the list is going to be very interesting, and people are going to have a sense that they're going to want to defend themselves or say something. But again, it's why has it taken this long to release this list? This is years in the making. And why, essentially my understanding is it's going to be a list. It's not going to be, we saw Bill Clinton do A, B, C, and D, or we saw, this other person do these things. And so it's just still going to lead to a ton of speculation about what actually happened and who actually participated in it.
Yeah. So, and Aaron Rodgers and
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah,
I did not catch exactly what Aaron Rodgers said, but he ostensibly indicated that Jimmy Kimmel may be on the list or may have an association with Epstein. And Jimmy Kimmel adamantly denied this, and he's willing to sue Aaron Rodgers over this, apparently. And that in itself would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
But who knows, man? It's just, it's disturbing. It really is. But it's just like, the bigger picture, we've got two stories here, the Cat Williams and the Epstein list and stuff like that. Is like, are we really in a place where this is just prevalent behavior? That this is what people do consistently? I mean, is that where we are? Because if it is, like, nothing matters.
Yeah. Like,
there's no standards for anything. If you have the power and wealth to do it, you're going to do it, and you're basically immune to any penalty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's disturbing that it's
been around for years. It's not anything new.
Yeah.
It's more in our face now.
Yeah, it's more in our face because
on the tip of Bubba's tongue, even.
Because it's like, yeah, I know. The thing is, it's like when you hear something, you don't really know. Like when we talked about the R. Kelly thing with D-Rug was here a couple of weeks ago. You hear it. But until it is in your face, it is just a distant rumor, and you don't really care to know more, and you don't really care in general.
But do we reach a tipping point where we now, like, when we hear this stuff, do we start to assume it's true because it's proving to be true over and over and over again?
Yeah, that too.
Do we begin to look at each other and think, hey, what is that bastard into? Like, is that where we are?
But it's interesting that there are some names where you'd be like, oh, hell no. They were just there for a meeting. And there are some names where you're like, yeah, he probably, like Bill Clinton, like, yeah, he was there on some shit. Even though it's just a name on a list. But Oprah, I couldn't see Oprah,
I have different sentiments about Oprah. I think she's capable of some heinous depravity. I do.
You think so?
She's a manipulative cow and not a sacred one.
That power and that money, all of us have crossed over. There's very few that are
I'm sure she's crossed some lines, but like,
you got to realize too, like
helping,
like Oprah was
young girls
sexually
screwed,
abused early in her life.
Yeah.
Now she gets to this place of incredible wealth and power.
Money doesn't take away your problems.
And that's
Yeah. I guess.
just some of them though.
the TD Jakes and the fucking Diddy parties. There's some things I can't go all their way with.
Oh,
But
I
yeah.
could with TD Jakes, man.
What's up with you guys? You guys I can't believe any of this stuff.
Because to me, if you're a man of the cloth, you're a man of fraud. That's just the way I look at it. If you put yourself out there, you're damn sure doing some wacky shit. Look at Gandhi. That guy was peddling around with the little boys. You know? I just say, like, anybody that like puts themselves so far out there as this like religious figure, there's always a dark side, man.
He had no business at Diddy parties.
He was handling business.
He had no business being there.
Oh, he had no business being there in the
If
first
he
place.
was what
If
he
was.
pretended to be.
Mr. T.D. Jakes, pastor, whatever he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had no business being there.
But in fact, he did have some business there. Getting taken to Pound Town, apparently.
Maybe he's doing the pounding. What do you know?
The story was he was taken to Pound Town. So I'm going to go with the facts. You can do as you please.
You do what you please. All right, let's move along here. All of these Epstein news clippings, they just keep talking about Prince and Clinton there.
And those dudes were in the documentary, man. That's just weak.
So we have to wait until the official list has been dropped.
Give us something interesting.